I offer one more variant of weaving a square bottom. For this I propose to take a sheet of A4 paper, cut it in two, and roll up the tubes, but this time not on a knitting needle, but on a thick mark pen like this one. We try to make them more or less similar in length. We can flatten them right away, because in future we will flatten them all. It is what a tube made with a thick mark pen looks, and these are the tubes made beforehand with the help of a bit thinner mark pen. These are the ones we will be using. So, we take a necessary amount of the tubes, depending on the form. The form is the same, the books. Look, this quantity is enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tubes. And interlay them in a regular square way of weaving. This way we've put the first tube formed. Further it will be easier. We bend the tubes next nearest. We do it in order to make the wickerwork thick. And put the next tube. Notice that anyway the tubes cannot be completely even. So to make the square or rectangular, to make the item even, we alternate a thicker tip, a thinner one. So this way we put them back, thicken them where possible, and bend the next tubes. Oh, there are the stripes than tubes. Take the next one. Here this tip is thicker. And continue this way until we make a square. So we have reached the necessary length. Now you see that the last strip slides away. Not to let it slide, I try to fix several stripes right away. This way. Using the same knitting needle I was using while weaving. Fix at least 2 stripes in order to be able to complete the next edges. This way I have fixed this side. Now do the same with the opposite side. Now our task is to hide all the tips. We have decided that the size is sufficient according to the form. I want to draw your attention to the fact that the bottom should be a little more than the form. It should stick out 1/4 inch from each side. In this case the item will be neater. Now the next stage we hide all the tips. We hide them this way. Here we have a kind of special pockets in the 3rd row. They hide all the tips perfectly. At first we will bend all the tubes from the face. I will show you by an example of one row. Then we will turn the bottom and hide the remainder tips in the same way from the opposite side. The task is rather laborious, but for some reason I like this kind of bottoms. They look somewhat unusual, original. And continue this way until we hide all. So we have hidden all the tips, cut the remainders. The bottom is ready. It corresponds to the form. That is, it will not be perfectly square, but rectangular. The next stage. We take the tubes, bend them, and insert and fix them like this. They get fixed conveniently along the perimeter of the rectangle. Shift them as close to the edge as possible. So far this way. Later we will make them even in the process of weaving. So all the tubes are inserted, the form is placed, start braiding in the way of rope. Here we can use a triple rope as well. But let's not make it too complicated. Let's use all the traditional methods so far. So we mix two ways of weaving, square weaving and rope weaving. But in my opinion the effect comes out interesting. Straighten the poles where necessary. Lengthen the tubes in the process of weaving. The first row is comparatively difficult. To straighten the poles one has to take an effort, but later follow the beaten track. At the same time we fix the corners as we already can. I know it in practice that while weaving square shapes, it is necessary to fix the corners, otherwise they will not look right-angled, but rather rounded. And in this case the shape of the item will be at a disadvantage. We continue weaving like this.